Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for listening. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Owners Freedom Formula Show, where we chat with inspiring entrepreneurs and dig into their highs, lows, and everything in between of their business building journey and learn about how they've been able to achieve ultimate freedom. In today's episode number 6, we have another great pair of guests. This is our first multi-guest episode. You can wave hi to them if you're watching on video. They are here with us today. But before we get jumped in, just a quick reminder that you can get all the show notes by going to our website, paulmaskill.com. Or if you're on your iPhone, you can simply click on the podcast logo and the show notes will pop right up for you. And if you're looking to mastermind with other like-minded business owners that are listening to the show, jump into our free Facebook group by going to bizfreedomformula.com. And if you haven't seen it, you're not watching it, all of our podcasts are recorded live, including video, with no edit, so you can check those out on Facebook and YouTube as well. So we are going to jump in. We have with us here today Barry and Catherine Cohen. So I'm going to introduce them individually. Barry is the co-founder of Business Solutions for Growth, a more technical thinker with 30 plus years background in computers. Barry is the systems guy, my kind of guy. Whether it's the systems on the computer or the systems that run the business, it's all about order and organization. He is a passionate researcher, able to find answers and resources to almost everything, and is a speaker on topics ranging from computers to podcasting to business strategies to working with your spouse. He actively consults with clients to offer business solutions that work. And we have here Catherine, who is the other co-founder of Business Solutions for Growth. A more creative force, ideas and inspiration seem to just come to her, taking clients' talent, experience, desire, and skills, and reworking it into new offerings, laying out the groundwork to get a new business started, or creating a path of growth and renewal is her specialty. Catherine enjoys crafting solutions that make sense to each client's unique situation. So that is Barry and Catherine Cohen from Business Solutions for Growth. Welcome, Cohens. Thanks for being here. How's it going today?
Very good. How's it going with you?
Very well. I'm hanging out in Raleigh, North Carolina. Probably not as nice and warm as where you are, but I can't complain. So with all that fantastic introduction, did I happen to miss anything? What's going on in Arizona today?
Warm weather, shorts, and work.
What kind of work are you guys working on today?
We're actually in the process of putting together an online program that is basically everything that we teach one-to-one. We're in the process of putting that together as an online program so we can get it out to the masses.
Cool. So you mainly work then one-on-one with people locally at the moment?
Well, anywhere. They don't need to be local. It's actually 2-on-1 with us. You get
True. You need someone to pick you up.
I'm here strictly for comic relief, so you get Catherine.
Okay, perfect. So she's the one-to-one and you just tag along and make sure everyone's having a good time. Is that right, Catherine? Is that what he does?
Not exactly. It's a combined effort because we think in very different ways and we think about very different things in the business. And so it's a very holistic, if you will, approach because it's the whole darn thing. But yeah, we are working on that online course, and it's going to start as a live course. And even before that, it's going to start as a challenge. So it's challenge, live webinar course, which will become an online downloadable course. And that's what we've been working on for the last couple of weeks. And it'll probably take us a couple more before we launch.
Very cool. So I actually ran into the Cohens originally. They had a podcast called Together 24/7. Because literally they're together 24/7. So give our listeners a little bit of insight into how you guys actually got started in business together and kind of how that's evolved over time. And what are the some of the moments you almost quit either on the business or on the spouse?
It definitely was an evolution. Without a doubt, it was an evolution. We both started our careers in the corporate world. I think that's how most of us start. And neither of us really liked it. We have entrepreneurship in our blood. It's in our DNA. Both sets of parents are entrepreneurs. So for us, it was easy. We both started individual businesses. I was a computer repair guy and a website developer. And Catherine, you did all sorts of fun stuff, didn't you, Catherine?
I was a massage therapist. I did massage
years.
therapy, spa work, but it was always my own business. It was always in a salon or in a chiropractic office, but it was always my own work, my own business. And, I enjoyed it. And then in 2003, actually, we had both joined a barter exchange for our individual businesses. And in 2003, we kind of got frustrated with that exchange. And we decided to start our own barter exchange in Phoenix. Very successful, had a lot of clients, had really, really good success with that. And then we thought in 2009, well, we're so successful with the exchange, why not create a software company? And not as exciting and wonderful. But we did that in 2009, sold the barter exchange in 2013. And pretty much we had the software company until just recently, just a few months ago. It's in the process of changing hands, and we're out of it. And that's why we started Business Solutions for Growth, because as the software company, we weren't just providing software to brand new entrepreneurs who wanted to start their own barter exchange. We were providing, like, what is a business? How do you start an exchange? A lot of the people starting it were couples. So how do you not kill your spouse and still have a successful business? And, and through that, that's how we evolved. And I think business, when you're an entrepreneur, I don't like the term serial entrepreneur.
Sounds like you're going to kill me.
Yeah.
Kind of scary.
But it is an evolution, I think. It's an evolution of, okay, this is where I am. And I'm Italian, so I had to bring the hands in. This is where I am. This is what I know. And this is how I'm going to serve people with it. And then this is what I learned more, so I can serve in a bigger way and in a bigger way and in a bigger way. And that's been the theme for our business and how we've evolved. Very
cool. So what were along the way, it sounded like the barter exchange was one of your, first businesses that you built and grew. Kind of give our listeners a little bit more in depth of what is a barter exchange. Maybe it's something that they could take advantage of in their local area. And then what were some ways that you guys were able to scale that business before, ultimately selling it for probably a pretty good return?
Well, first, it wasn't our first venture into entrepreneurship. It was the first business
together.
We did together.
Right, yeah.
First one we did together. And really, that was a lot of fun to build, because the way it works, for those that aren't familiar, and I'll give the brief nutshell version of it, it's basically a different currency. Instead of using US dollars, we created barter credits. So if I used your service and you typically charge $100, I would pay you in 100 barter credits, and then you could use that with anybody else in the group. And so instead of paying cash, we do it that way. Instead of doing one-to-one trades where you have to figure out who owes how much, and oh wait, I need another hour of work from you, or you let me down, you didn't do as much as you said you were going to do. There's no balancing that you have to worry about. We took care of that. So that's how that worked. And we actually scaled it locally, just the two of us. We tried to purchase an exchange in another city. That didn't work out. We found out in this particular business, you really need boots on the ground in the city.
Right.
So that didn't work out. So we sold that division of the company off. We kept it here in Phoenix. When we started building the software, this was two very full-time careers. And we felt we had to give focus to one or the other, not both. It just wasn't working. So we decided to give up the barter exchange and go with the software. We thought that would be more lucrative for us. It would be more beneficial to the industry in general. And it was. We had one of the best softwares out there. And it's a very small industry, but a lot of software developers are coming into it. And we felt we had the best out there. And we also felt it was the right time to move on out of the industry and help, as Catherine said, be of service to more people. I think that's the best way to put it, because with our software, we're of service only in that industry, and it was very specific, very niche. We wanted to break out of that, and because we knew we can. Catherine has her marketing degree. I have all of my life experience in business. My father's a CPA. How can you not have life experience?
You've heard it all.
Yeah, and he worked from home, so everything was there, so I was able to pick all that up. I think I've got my doctorate just from life experience. I should get an honorary doctorate from someplace. Do you know of a school that will do that for me?
We could probably find one online.
Okay, I'm sure we can. $10, here you go. I'm a doctor.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's really important for our listeners to take away, that whatever they are building, whatever business they are, if they're putting these systems in place to get that business to run, think outside the box, and maybe that system you're using can not only help other people in your industry, but it might also be able to help other people in general running a business. And I mean, that's really why we're here today. We've figured it out. We built the business, we sold the business, and now we want to help more people have that opportunity to do the same thing. So that's really a good takeaway there. What are you guys up to? Kind of what does a normal day now look like for you guys now that you're working on serving all these other business owners out there? What's a normal day in the life of the Cohens?
First things first, go out in the backyard to the Cohen kibbutz and get the eggs from the chickens, because that's how you have breakfast in the morning.
That's as fresh as it comes, I think.
It is. And then you have to feed the fish, because the tilapia we are raising tilapia, and the tilapia are almost ready to eat.
Harvest.
They're ready to be harvested.
They need to be harvested. In all seriousness, we do some networking. For us, we have to be very particular about where we network, and I think that's an issue with a lot of business people. They either do too much networking, too little networking, and somewhere in there they're not networking where their tribe is. Where their customers or their best referral partners are. You just network for the sake of networking. But we've been picking and choosing where we network. We also do a lot more online. And from there, we have a day with us would look like a lot of communication. We do discovery sessions, and we do a lot of coaching. Our coaching is 1-to-1, 2-to-1, and and we do it over Skype, so we can do it anywhere. But we've got, similar to this podcast, this video podcast, we have the ability to see the face of the other person, and when we come up with a suggestion, we see the look on their face, look on their face. We can we can adjust, and so we enjoy doing that. And from there, we're creating new programs, new ways to reach out to more people. Because with any coach, consultant, mentor, to work with them personally is going to be a significantly higher rate than to work in a group or to buy their program. And you still get a lot out of it, and that's what we're working on now. So a good chunk of our day has been spent creating a few new things to offer out to entrepreneurs, and so that they can, start or up-level their business.
Very cool. And I think when you kind of talked about the group setting, I mean, even Napoleon Hill said the power of a mastermind, when you can get more than one person in the room kind of going along the same path, you get there that much quicker, just because you're not doing it alone. So some people say, oh, group coaching, well, I'm not getting the full one-on-one. It's not as expensive, blah, blah, blah. In my opinion, when I join masterminds and get in that setting of other people that are in the same boat, I get a lot more out of it than just kind of a 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 or, whatever. So that sounds like a definitely good opportunity for anybody out there looking for that mastermind type coaching. They got some cool programs going on. So how do you guys balance, your work life and your personal life, since you are together 24/7? How do you get away from each other? How do you divide work from, your regular personal life and all that kind of stuff? What are some good tactics that our listeners could take away?
Well, for the most part, we are together 24/7. We, as Catherine said, we go out in the morning into what we call the Cohen kibbutz. It's our little farm area. We got trees and things like that, growing fruit trees and things. So that's kind of a de-stressing part of the day. Just go out there, don't even think about work, then come in and do whatever work we need to get done, and maybe in the middle of the day go out there again. As far as separating, I have once a month, because we're always thinking business, I put together a networking group for men only, where once a month at night we go out, the men get together for cigars and drinks and networking. Mostly cigars and drinks, but we tell the wife that we're networking.
Business write-off.
Yeah, that's one way that I get away from Catherine. She has her time away from me. Catherine, what else do we do?
I'm involved in a few outside organizations, involved in our church, and, involved with some women's groups, but friends, we have a lot of obviously sets of friends who are couples. And so we'll all go out together or we'll all go out separately, guys night out and girls night out. We have a little bit of our own interests. So that's fun. Barry has a childhood friend here in Phoenix from Staten Island, of all things. So they get together sometimes and just go and hang out and de-stress. So there's a lot of different things. As a couple, we make sure that, especially now with what we're doing, we make sure that, 6:37, the day is done. We've wrapped everything up and we'll eat and relax and enjoy the evening. Weekends, we've really been training ourselves, and it's a hard thing to do, but we've really been training ourselves to not work on the weekends. Nice. To do things in the yard, to go out. Tomorrow's the Renaissance Festival for us, so that's cool. A fun thing with friends. But it's something you need to train yourself. As an entrepreneur, it really is. It's a habit you need to get into of not working all the time.
Totally.
I've gotten to the point where I don't even turn my computer on the weekend. Mm-hmm. It was, and we all do it. I mean, up until a few years ago, the computer was on from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed, and you make sure you check your emails, you make sure everything's taken care of. And now the only thing I check my emails for on the weekend on my phone, I just tap, delete all the spam mail, all the junk, so I don't come in Monday morning to 500-600 emails to go through. But if I see a business-related, I don't even look at it. It stays, because there's no emergency in our business that can't wait till Monday.
Yep.
So you mean the world keeps spinning even when you don't check your email and turn the computer on?
Who knew?
Unless you're a cardiologist or a brain surgeon, really, you're going to be fine. And even those guys, they're only on call sometimes. So the world will continue without you getting back to somebody for a day.
That is a great point, and I've kind of realized some clients actually appreciate that, and they like that you're taking that time away, and they know that you're if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of them, and if you're going to tell them and teach them how to do this, then you should probably do the same thing. So that's a really good thing to do. No technology, enjoy the weekend. Not that long ago, if we called somebody and they didn't answer, we just left we left a message on their answering machine and hope they checked it. So if you don't check your email right away, it will be okay. So really good things there, having something to do in the morning before you jump into work. I know too many people that right when they wake up, they're looking at their phone like this before they even said good morning to anybody, or they even went and took care of themselves. So whatever it is, have your little getaway, have a little thing to do before you jump into work. So with that being said, you've got all these things going on. What are your future plans with, the business, and where do you see it going in the future?
Certainly more automated, meaning online classes. We have been doing a lot of speaking, and that just thrills us to get in front of people and to do one-day workshops and to do speaking and engaging with people and come in with your notebook and your pen and leave with a whole lot of ideas or a new system or something, and actually seeing the faces of the groups of people doing this, that's a thrill. So we're looking for more speaking opportunities, but automating, I think, is our number one thing. Doing the webinar classes so you have a little bit more of a personal touch with us, and recording those classes and creating a package. That's really the only way that we can serve as many people as we can, without burning out ourselves. And it's a great way. It's an inexpensive way, relatively speaking. It's an inexpensive way for somebody to find out, do you want to start your own business? Because we're great at helping people start their own business. Do you want to expand your business? Why are you stuck in your business? And if you're taking a course and, something like that, you can say, with everything that I've just learned, maybe this isn't the thing that I should be doing, or maybe I shouldn't be working with my spouse or something like that. So it's a great way to test the waters with an online course without tremendous amount of expense. So that's where our business is going. That's our direction.
Very cool. So any listeners out there, we're always talking about automating, systematizing, so that way you can build something once and then it'll continue to run even if you're not running it. So whether it's setting up an email system where it sends out automated emails, or you're creating videos and evergreen content that your customers can take away, no matter what type of business you're in, whether you're a dentist or you're a landscaper or anything in between, you can use systems and automation. So anything else from Barry over there? He is the systems guy. You got anything else to share with us that is just something awesome and you can't wait to tell us?
Well, I think going back to one of the things I said earlier would be a great takeaway for your listeners as well. When I said we tried to open up a barter exchange out of our city, it was actually in San Diego, we're in Phoenix, and we dropped it. We gave it up. And I think it's important for your listeners to know there comes a point where you have to look and say, this really isn't working, or I'm putting more effort into this for very little reward. It's time to stop doing that and put the focus into something that is going to give me a better return. So I think that's something that your listeners really need to take to heart, because so many of them, I can guarantee a lot of your listeners are doing 2, 3, 4, 5 different businesses, and they're putting too much effort into the ones that aren't giving them a return.
So true. And it's that kind of emotional attachment of, this is my business, I can't let it fail. But it's okay if you let it go. You need to kind of remove yourself from that emotional attachment. Choose where to put your time, put it in places where you're going to get a lot more return out of it. So really good kind of words of wisdom there from Barry. But as you know, guys, all good things do come to an end. Well done, Barry. You passed the test. All good things do come to an end, and we want to make sure you have enough time to get ready for your Renaissance Festival tomorrow. So we are all about freedom, so we don't want to take up too much of your time or our listeners' time. But before we sign off, it is time for our rapid recommendations for all things systems, automation, and freedom. So I'm going to give you guys 6 different topics, and you're going to give me one thing that you recommend for each of those things to our listeners to check out today. So if you guys have both ready, we can go Barry and then Catherine. We'll do that. So Barry, give us one book that you recommend.
The Highly Paid Expert by Debbie Allen.
Perfect. Kat, there it is, upside down and everything. Kat, you got a book, or is that your also favorite book?
We've actually been reading that book and working with Debbie, so it's been fantastic. That's a great book. And then Dr. Seuss, Oh, the Places You'll Go. That's a wonderful book to have on your desk so that when you get down and depressed, you just read that book. It takes you 30 seconds and you're not down and depressed anymore. That
is so funny. I actually, that coffee table right behind me, it has that book on it. So The Places You'll Go, I think I got it when I graduated high school, and it's still relevant today. So what about one quote that each of you guys kind of live by, whether business or personal life?
Mine is Yoda. There is no try, do or do not. I live by that.
Perfect.
And mine is Billy Joel. And now you're going to have an explicit rating on your show, but don't take any shit from anyone. And unfortunately, as business owners, we take a lot that we sometimes need to say, you know what, enough. You may be the customer, but you're not always right. And you don't have to do it in a nasty way, but don't take any bleep from anyone.
Perfect. Easy and easy to remember. What about one tool, kind of tech tool or something that you use every day to help you get where you want to go?
I think we're both in agreement on this. When we upgraded our computers to the Microsoft Surface Pro, it was finally what we needed. It's a desktop, it's a laptop, it's a tablet, it's everything. So it's easy to take on the road. We use it as our regular everyday desktop with 2 monitors, full keyboard, full mouse, and then when you need to run, you just pick it up and go.
Yep.
So I think that's a huge tool. It's been really valuable to us.
Awesome.
And ladies, make sure you get the lovely pink case for it.
There you go. So if you're going to get something, you got to carry it in something even nicer. So get that pink case for your Surface Pro. What about one podcast that you guys like to listen to?
Together 24/7. Come on.
Duh. Together 24/7 is their podcast. Check it out. They interview other couple entrepreneurs that are working together 24/7.
In all seriousness, we have a personal podcast, and a business podcast. The business podcast, and I actually have my cat here. Yay! The business podcast is Brendan Galey's The the blog Millionaire.
Yeah.
And because I keep trying to blog, and I do blog a little bit, but it gives me inspiration. And the personal podcast that we enjoy listening to, and we actually helped train Greg Peterson to do his podcast, and it's a fabulous podcast. It's called The Urban Farm, and it's all about your backyard plants and your front yard plants, and just whether you're growing a few tomatoes for your salad or all of your fruits and vegetables. It's a great, fun podcast to listen to.
Cool. So if you want to start an urban farm in your backyard, that's where you'll want to go. What about one community that you guys like to hang out in?
Go ahead, Kat.
Podcasters Paradise.
Podcasters Paradise. So
Yeah.
if you are looking to get into podcasting, or you are a podcaster, if you haven't heard of John Lee Dumas, Entrepreneur on Fire, Podcasters Paradise is a fun place to hang out. That's actually where I met this lovely couple a few years ago. Last but not least, yes, you guys, you are lovely. At least on camera and on audio. And then before we go, what is one parting piece of advice from both of you for a business owner out there who is stuck, burned out, or just trying to get over the hump?
Don't listen to everybody that tells you what you need to do in your business and what you have to do in your business. Get somebody to help you think outside the box a little bit. Catherine, would you agree with me?
You want to surround yourself with creative thinkers. And this is especially true, I think, for entrepreneurs that get into this world in MLMs and network marketing. You have an upline, you have a company, but in any business, really, you have other mentors that have been doing it a certain way, and it may not feel comfortable to you to do it that way, and you probably won't get the same results as they do. Get creative, get crazy creative. And if you can't do that, find a strategist, a mentor, a coach that can get crazy creative with you. Because while you'll throw out 8 of the ideas because they're just too insane, those 2 other ideas are going to be golden for you, and they'll feel right. And when it feels right and it's in alignment with you, you'll make more money with less effort every time.
Awesome. So I think that is, really important is surround yourself, whatever you need. Don't be afraid to admit that you need it. If you need creativity, you need to think out of the box, find those people, get in a mastermind with them, meet up with them, have coffee with them, whatever it is. Yep. Get out there and figure out what you need. So Barry and Catherine Cohen, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to impart some of your knowledge, wisdom, enthusiasm to our community. Hopefully this helps everyone out there get one step closer to achieving ultimate freedom in their business and in life. But before we sign off, where can our listeners go to keep in touch with you guys?
Let's see. They can go to our website, businesssolutionsforgrowth.com. That's where they can contact us, see Catherine's blogs that she has been doing. She's good at it. She's a good writer. And if they want to hear our podcast, we can be found at together247.net or on iTunes and Google Play, Together 24/7.
Yes.
Awesome. So we'll link all that up in the show notes, businesssolutionsforgrowth.com, together247.net. If you are hanging out on Twitter or Facebook, they're also there. Twitter, Strategize Your Biz, and we'll type that out in the show notes as well. Facebook is facebook.com/businesssolutionsforgrowth. That's all we got here. They're going out to get ready for the Renaissance Festival, but stay tuned for next week's episode as we dive into another fantastic interview with Deacon Hayes from Well Kept Wallet. And if you like what you're hearing today, we'd always appreciate a friendly review, subscribe, and share with your friends. Until next time, don't forget to join our free Facebook group, bizfreedomformula.com, where we can continue the conversation with like-minded entrepreneurs who are putting in the plans to work less, make more, while increasing the value of their business and achieving ultimate freedom. So that's all I got. Keep rocking, trust the process, and talk to you soon.
Bye.